Good morning, I'm Michael from Moat Monster Gaming, and if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. So today I'm looking at Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer number 13, and as always it came with dice. So here, these nice light blue dice, but this one actually came with loads. So we don't just have dice this time, but we also have this little nice bag with like blue logo on it, which is very, very nice. Feels good, quite good quality. But it doesn't just come with that. It also, this time, we get character sheets. So we get character sheets for the pre-generated Barbarian Dragonborn character. So that's quite cool. So for level 1 and level 2. And completely unexpected and not even really referenced in the book, but it comes with a battle map. So we have a indoor and outdoor, move the camera, indoor and outdoor battle map. So that looks like it's like a forest clearing. Don't know how well you can see that. And indoor, maybe a dungeon or something. So completely unexpected. So we've gone from having like barely anything, just dice, to absolutely loads on this one. So having a look in the book. So this time we've got Sage Advice, so we've got Passage of Time Part 2, which actually felt very similar to Part 1. We've got a little bit on curses, then over to character creation. So we've got Becoming a Better Role Player, that actually feels quite basic. And then to go with the sheets, we have Barbarian features level 1, Barbarian features level 2. And then for lore, we've got the Weave, Pantheon and Gods, and then we've got this encounter adventure here, Chasing Shadows, which is actually very good. So Passage of Time, got a page on telling you it's part 2 basically. And then here we've got another piece on travel pace. I felt like there was a lot of repetition from the first time that we had the time, part 1. A little bit about in-game time, making sure that you're keeping track of it. Actually, it just felt very similar to the part 1 of Passage of Time, so I'm not quite sure what we gained there. This though, Curses, very interesting. Talks a little bit about how to set them up. It talks about the monstrous curses, like lycanthropy, vampirism, things like that. But it talks about creating your own, and it actually references Ravenloft, which is my all-time favourite plane of existence in D&D. So we've got a couple of pages on being a better role player. Nothing exciting there. I would get annoyed by this fast if I was the DM. It actually encourages you to give your character weird little character quirks to make them more interesting. I generally find they're a bit annoying when I run sessions. But here we have the Barbarian. So 2 pages basically laying out what a barbarian is. A little bit about famous ones in characters in like fiction, and then on to barbarian features. So it talks about what the barbarian does at first level and then what they get at second level. So again, nothing that you wouldn't find in the player's handbook, but it's all laid out so nicely and it's so easy to digest. So then here we have onto the Weave. Now, I'd not heard of the Weave. To me, reading it, it sounds a bit like the Force. It's basically the mystical, magical energy that all the spells are fabricated from, if I've read and understood it correctly. To me, I just felt like I was reading Kenobi's quote about the Force from A New Hope. But there we go. It talks about how magic items can be connected, and then references curses again, which is a bit of an ongoing theme in this issue. They talk about curses quite a lot. So then this bit here, we have a little piece on the Pantheon of Gods. It does talk about picking and choosing your own if you want to create your own world. But here we have this very, very nice list of all the different ones that you get in the Forgotten Realms. Talks about what kind of spell domains they have, what their symbol is, and most importantly, what alignment they are. Now, all in all, it's been quite good up until now, this issue. Some of it felt a bit like it could have been in an earlier issue, but I feel like it was expansive enough. But this is what I really liked about the issue. This quest, Chasing Shadows, is excellent. Now, it's only a few pages long, as all the encounters are, but it's probably, I think, the best thought out one yet. So it's map light, but actually it's got a decent story and it's got some decent interactions. So basically, characters have been travelling along the road to Neverwinter. So it's a continuation. If they've played the previous ones, they've still got the gentleman with them that wants to open a shop in Neverwinter. So they've travelled up the Tribal Trail, they're along the high road, and they're stopping in this little hamlet. So starts off with an encounter overview. And basically, a necromancer is making her fortune off defenseless villagers. So it's a con, it's a trick. She sells trinkets to protect them from the creatures that she summons or releases. And if they buy her trinkets, she leaves them alone. If they don't buy her trinkets, she kills them, and then everybody else then buys the trinkets. It's a really good scheme that they've got. So starts off with a little introduction to the scheme, and then talks about Trentor, the town, and how it came, or sorry, Hamlet, and how it came to be about. And then we have beginning the encounter. So they've been a couple of days on the road, and then they stop off at this inn that's got a few houses built up around it, the Blind Basilisk Inn, and then they get drafted into defending the village from shadows. But these shadows have actually been summoned by this character here. So we have Harriet Littlefoot, who's trying to defend the town, but she is injured. And this is the necromancer, who is basically causing all the trouble. But it's really, really open-ended. You know, it's designed that if they confront her, she's going to try and escape and potentially turn up in a later encounter. It's really well thought out. Again, there's no map, there's no pictures. You can come up with your own. Like the Blind Basilisk Inn, you can substitute the map from the inn in Phandalin, but it is more about them dealing with these shadows and then actually figuring out the mystery that this person's behind it all. But yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Thank you very much for looking. Take care.